So, I want to talk to you today about using features inspired by psychology and linguistics to improve automatic detection of subtle information in text. And this is a talk that is intended for September 5th, 2019 at CCR La Jolla, and that's me right there. I'm Lisa Pearl. I'm a professor in the Department of Language Science and the Department of Cognitive Sciences at UCI here, and I run the Computation of Language Laboratory here. So with that, let's get started. So, the idea is to focus on natural language understanding, that is, extracting the information that humans typically can do from natural language. And so an example of natural language would be something like this. Come on, don't you think this is awesome? So there's a lot of information in this example of natural language. So for example, come on is a contraction of come on. Don't is a contraction of do not. The form of come on is really an exclamation or an exhortation. The second part, don't you think this is awesome, is a yes-no question. It's a question whose response is on the surface, yes or no. Don't you think this is awesome, yes or no, right? And we can also extract different types of meaning, right? So you is the addressee, whoever we're talking to. Think is a mental state of some kind. Awesome is sort of really, really good, right? The different sorts of meaning. The word this actually is a tricky word that gets its meaning by something in the discourse context, in this case probably something salient to both you and whoever you're talking to. So maybe if you were talking about this really cute penguin, or you were looking at this really cute penguin, even if you didn't say anything about it, the this might naturally refer to the really cute penguin, right? So this is different types of what we might consider core information that humans could extract from this natural language, but there's also more subtle information available too, right? So, for example, the speaker of come on, don't you think this is awesome, likely has a persuasive intention, right? And we can sort of tell this by the types of things they're saying, come on, don't you think, right? It's persuasive. And maybe if the speaker actually doesn't like penguins, doesn't think penguins are awesome, he could be intending to ingratiate himself with the addressee using a type of white lie or deception. But at face value, the speaker seems to have a good feeling about penguins, a positive emotion, a positive sentiment, as we can tell by using the word awesome, actually, a positive word. And the casual style of speaking, using come on and don't, and the word choice of awesome, suggests familiarity with the addressee and actually may indicate something about the speaker's identity in relationship to the addressee, right? So this more subtle information, the intentions, emotions, and attitudes, identity, that's going to be our focus today. And why is because it's currently harder to automatically extract. And so a fun fact is that for people who study this question of extracting more subtle information from natural language, there's been an interesting divide to the different approaches. So on the one side, we have very computational approaches, so using lots of really hardcore mathematical knowledge, really strong computational tools, really powerful machine learning techniques. Right. And on the other side, we have people coming at this from psychology and linguistics, where they maybe have very precise psychological and linguistic theories that allow them to create these constructs that might be really indicative of the subtle information, but which are hard to maybe automatically extract. So what I've been trying to do in a lot of my work is, in this area, is bridge that divide between computational tools and psychology and linguistic intuitions and theories, and see what, if anything, we can get out of it. And some of my previous work has been focusing on language text alone, so more electronic communication, more conversational, or written text, which is maybe a little bit more formal. And so just as an example of this, a project from 2015 was detecting emotions, attitudes, and intentions in short messages, like short posts of different types. And we got much better accuracy when using quote-unquote deeper n-grams. So you can see here an n-gram is just, in this case, a sequence of words, n words, right? So the best, the brightest, the most fantastic, the most fun, these are n-grams. But we used ones that were semantically and syntactically more abstract, drawing from linguistic knowledge that the fact that the form of these were adjectives in the superlative form, and they were positive adjectives as well. So using this kind of abstraction from linguistics, we could collapse across these different individual n-grams, and these deeper type n-grams gave us much better accuracy at detecting those emotions, attitudes, and intentions in short messages. A study in 2016 was looking at authorship in epistolary novels. So these are novels of epistles, that is letters, of characters writing letters to each other. And the trick of it, of course, is that the actual author of this epistolary novel is just one person. And the question from a literary perspective is, can one person really write effectively, truly, believably, in the style of multiple characters? And the answer was yes and no. Right? The features that the author manipulated, which did in fact create several fairly distinct characters, weren't actually the ones that signified his own style. His own style features were still present. They didn't change. And the way that we discovered this was by using features that were syntactically richer, semantically tailored, drawing again from linguistics and psychology, in combination with a particular classifier that was state-of-the-art at the time, an SMLR classifier. So today's plan is to talk about two more recent projects. The first has to do with deception detection across content domains, like blog posts, project reviews, interview questions, or different content domains. And the second is sentiment analysis, in particular focusing on negation handling, which is a particular type of interesting thing that occurs in different kinds of messages.